How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Purified Podcast. Today is April 26, 2020. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hello. It is your boy, Chris.
How's it going, my man? You doing good?
Oh, it's going fabulous.
That's great. Hold on your thought just a second to see if the lip up is shiny. No, it's not shiny. I'm just going to go plus it. So, welcome back to another episode of the Purified Podcast. Of course, we are here to talk more things Pokemon Go related stuff that, hopefully we can, talk about every single week. This week, though, however, it's been a interesting one, I want to say, Chris.
It's been a fun week, I will say that, with everything going on.
Definitely has been, at least for me, has been interesting, but in overall, we don't have a lot of new news talking about. Hold on, Volpe on screen. Nah. All right. But that's mostly because we are actually in the midst of some events going on and some that just came through. We're going to be talking about, of course, our days on community day for Abra, which was our stay-at-home edition. We're also going to be talking about the Buddy Up event, which is still going on right now. Some things in the GBL, in the Go Battle League, of course, the final weeks of it. Actually, the final days. It's not even weeks, it's days at this point, which is actually interesting at that point. And then we're going to go ahead and end it with some Forest Cup talk and some throwback to the last few years. I know we may be a little bit early on this, mostly because it's not yet the anniversary once again of Pokemon Go, but we're getting there. So let's talk about some of the recent things that we like as when we open up Pokemon Go for the first time. So, Chris, let's go ahead and talk about our first topic, research topic of the day. So what do you got for me?
So, for the Abra Community Day, I think they did a fabulous job of making it a stay-at-home edition. I do think it was a little bit too reliant on the incense spawns, to be honest. That's the only thing I would have to critique on. But other than that, I did think the spawns were pretty good. Just what was spawning around you. The fact that you could get them from the photos was amazing.
Yeah.
Love that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, how many Chinese did you get?
I ended up getting 15 shinies.
That's good.
I think only one of them was like PvP oriented, which was the only kind I wanted.
All right.
Oh my god.
Oh, another Volpe? No. All right. So you were looking for, of course, the PvP one. Let's go ahead and go over some of the things that Abra Community Day had actually offered us this year. Or this month. Since you guys know, Abra's Community Day was actually scheduled since last month. Because of everything that happened, we had to reschedule it to this month. And now on April 25th was actually our day. They did some changes to the actual way of how to play. Now, the home stay edition, that's what we're talking about. Instead of like 3-hour lures, we're going to have 3-hour incest. And then obviously, we're gonna have Abra spawning on the wild more oftenly. We're also gonna have we're also having Photoshop Abra. So every time you actually take a picture of a body, you get to see an Abra encounter that can be shiny too, and in the overworld. I was lucky enough to get one like that. So it's actually kind of fun when I saw it the first time around. I'll show you guys the picture in just a minute. Of course, I'm trying to wait until my Gold Plus actually tells me what I'm trying to catch because I don't want to click before it spawns. There we go. It's not a shiny. Dang it. I'm going to be like this the whole time, guys. So if you're listening to a podcast, you need to see the actual live feed to know what's going on.
It's going to make it better when you get the shiny, though.
I know, right? I'm trying to get it on stream, like to make sure that everybody gets it. It's like I'm going to scream on stream right here. But anyways, we also had 3 times cash Stardust bonuses. And of course, we were able to just play at home, make sure this is Zubat. Why is it not shiny? Please tell me it's shiny. No, it's not shiny. I'm trying to take over this whole thing, but it doesn't happen. Anyways, and yeah, I think that the event was actually good. We also had it from 11 a.m. local time, and then all the way to 5 p.m. local time. So it was almost a 5 to 6 hour event. It was pretty nice because you usually don't have that much to be able to, play, and it actually helped out a lot of people because some of them have to work and things like that. Chris, you were working for like the half of it, right?
Yeah, I was working till like 1:30 or so,
Yeah.
but I was playing at work with an incense going for
Yeah,
sure.
and I was also working until 12:30, almost 1. It was a busy day, of course. And then I was running my Gold Plus the whole entire time. I actually got 2 or 3 shinies with the Gold Plus before I actually checked on my game.
Mm-hmm.
And my other 3 were also Gold Plus. Or actually my other 3 were Plus, and then the one in the overworld. So it was actually kind of nice. I'm gonna hide the screen here real quick so you guys don't see more than just my game's play. So I can go ahead and do that. There we go. And I'll show you guys the picture of my Abra in the overworld, unless I deleted it. I can't remember. I did. Oh well. I guess I did some cleaning up pictures part of it. Oh well, it happens. All right, back to it. Yeah. But it was fun, and actually one of the shiny Abras that I got was a 96, and that was Gold Plus, and that was like I actually like the pink of like a Sam. It's actually a pretty cool shiny.
Yeah, it looks good.
And of course, the community day move for like a Sam this year or this month was actually counter, which kind of gives him a diversity in a lot of battles. It can definitely tank Registeel and other meta Pokemons out there in the format, depending on the league, though. So it's not that bad, not when it comes down to it. However, you need to protect him well because he is what we call a glass cannon. And he will die pretty quickly if you don't know your right matchups. I also got a rank 3 for Ultra.
I got a rank 2.
Okay, Mr. One-Up me,
Oh my gosh.
Some people got the rank 1 and all that. But either way, it was actually kind of nice to see that I was able to get something similar, something nice in all the leagues. I think I got... the best one was a 96, the rank 3, and then I don't think I got 1-4, unfortunately, for the Great League. But it is what it is. It happens, So... Either way, that was mostly our recaps on Abra. There hasn't really been too much to talk about for that reason. I know, Chris, you have something to say.
Yeah, I would like to add something about Abra. If you didn't participate in it, you wouldn't have known this, but they actually made it so Abra wouldn't run away after the first throw.
That is correct.
Amazing. We were talking about how many people would be furious if a shiny ran on them.
Yeah, definitely. So Abra's catch rate before Community Day or fleet rate actually was 99%. Mm-hmm. And I know everybody was talking about it and actually asking, is this going to happen every time? If we get the shiny, it's going to run away on us? Things like that. So they actually decreased that to the 10% catch rate, just like every other Pokemon. For the reason that they knew that if, a shiny runs away from you, just like that, on the first ball, then everybody would be really mad about it. So I don't think Niantic wanted a whole horde of people coming around their Twitter and say, hey, I lost my shiny because I couldn't catch it on the first ball. It is what it is. But thank you, Niantic, once again for actually fixing that. They do a lot of that in recent community days. I think Reinhorn Community Day, the catch distance for it was actually increased during the time of
decreased.
Well, it was actually closer to you, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't
exactly.
Yeah. So since it was closer to you, it was easier to throw the ball instead of trying to launch it all the way out down the screen and things like that. So another Volby.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, that was actually pretty nice because actually Niantic understands, these things are there for a reason, and they wanted to, make sure that people are enjoying the community days and things like that. So it is what it is. But thank you, Niantic, once again. Hashtag thank you, Niantic.
Hashtag thank you, Niantic.
And before we move on to the next part of our research topics, Cappy, thank you for joining us, and OP Loser Gamers, thank you for joining us on the stream. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Buddy Up event, which is going on right now, and that's the reason why I'm checking so many Pokemons. Chris, you want me to just go ahead and tell about the bonuses and all that stuff before we get into it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the Buddy Up event basically was for us to interact with our buddies a little bit better. At the same time, there's other bonuses out there. Volbeat and Lumis were appearing more frequently in the wild and globally, so you don't see regionals about it. Just same way that Seviper and Zangoose were actually released in his shiny forms. 2 times evolution or 2 times experience evolution for evolving Pokemons. Buddy will walk longer with you, so that means they will stay longer in the map, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Easier to get Buddy Candy excited, so it doesn't take so long to get it into the excited mode instead of using a Puffin. Half distance to earn a heart, but it will bring more types of items. That is only if you get the right, the right hearts for it. And then Buddy will bring you souvenirs more often, and Buddy will bring you items more often. So this was actually it's still a pretty nice event actually, and the reason why is because everybody wants to get the shiny. There's also the appearances of Lilipop, Eevee, Feebas, Volbeat, Illumise, and a lot of Buddy Up Pokemons that you see mostly in the wild. Joltik is also one of them too, right? And I think I lost Chris. Chris, where are you at? I think I lost internet. Oh, hang on, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right. I thought I lost everything. I thought I lost you, and I thought I lost the internet. It's all right. I'll just cut off a little bit from that, and I'll be fine. So, Chris, can you tell me how your experience with the Buddy Up event has gone on for you?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
It's in and out.
Looks like our internet is just not working that well right now. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and turn off your camera up here. I think I lost him completely. All right. Well,
okay,
Chris's face, you'll not see him anytime soon for now. But Chris, can you once again just tell me how is your Buddy Up event so far?
The most exciting stuff has just been getting some PvP regionals for sure. I mean, it's definitely been amazing seeing all the Volbeat around and knowing I don't have to trade someone a shiny for it.
If you get the shiny.
Well, I meant just getting it in the decks, you know. Yeah, I hadn't had one before this, so it was amazing to see it in the wild.
Yeah, luckily for me, I actually had a friend who went to France a few years back. I think I want to say a year or so ago, and she brought me a Volbeat to be able to trace, and I was like, "Yay! At regional, I don't have to go around the world to get it. Thank you, Jesus." So I actually had it for the decks already, but you know, shinies is a shiny, so you gotta get the shiny.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So yes, the Buddy Up so far it has been good. I've been able to get one Pokemon to best friends thanks to it. It would have actually gotten me. Taking me probably another week or so to get it specifically, but I was able to get more hearts this time around, so my Metachan is now fully powered up, 100% ready to go for Great League, which is kind of nice.
Oh yeah, have you been using it?
I've been wanting to use them, I just haven't really got the chance. I've been trying to do some Master League battles every now and then, so
okay.
So I'm trying all the other ones so far, just mostly because I finally got what we're probably going to be talking about soon, an Elite TM. And I wanted to try it out Metagross in the Master League, so we'll talk about that in just a moment, actually, coming right up, of course. So, Buddy Up, what are your final thoughts on it, since we only have like a day to it left?
I think it was a really fun event for even for doing indoors, you know. I think it's great that they lowered the distance requirement to 1 kilometer.
Right.
That was a terrific idea. I wish it was like this all the time.
Yeah, definitely. But unfortunately, well, I mean, it is what it is. There are events like that, and when release global shinies like that, it kind of makes you want to try out a little harder, just because you know you won't see it for a while afterwards. It just makes sense. And we may have to restart for the reason that your microphone is still going on and off a little bit. All right, guys. Thank you very much for waiting there. We had some technical difficulties for sure, but we are back, and hopefully, Chris, you can actually say some things now.
That's just stream magic, man.
Yeah, that is stream magic. Well, the podcast will probably never hear it because by the time this is actually released, I'm probably gonna cut off that off. But I have to remind myself, please cut off that part. All right, so just to get a move on back again into what we're talking about, of course, I know next piece of research topics that we have, and like I said, we don't have a lot of news to talk about today. We're just making sure that we are able to release something for you guys and lovely people that listen to us. So the Go Battle League has actually finally got to its final stages of Season 1. We have probably 4 days and a couple hours less to go when it comes down to it. And yeah. Master League, Ultra League, and Great League. Chris, what do you got for me for that?
For like Go Battle League, you mean?
Yes, Go Battle League. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, you're good. Go Battle League. I've kind of been a little bit, I don't know. I guess distraught, just because of Master League. I have just been doing poorly in Master League, so being able to do all the different leagues is definitely helping. I've definitely been hopping back into Great League because I feel like that's the one that I excel the best in, especially since I just don't have a good team for Master League at all.
Yeah, definitely. I myself has actually felt burnout. Now, I remember when we first started talking about the Go Battle League walk-in requirements to be completely gone, I said that I wanted to do all sets every day without taking a break. I got burned out. Badly.
Oh, yeah.
I got burned down in the Great League. And yeah, it was kind of nice when it comes down to it. And it was nice to be able to do the battles without having to walk and everything definitely. But unfortunately, there are some things that you can do unless you're like a real grinder of that part of it. And I had other things I wanted to do stream wise and other things that I wanted to do for the channel. So it wasn't easy getting to that point. So it is what it is. Unfortunately, I did actually state it in rank 8. I may not be able to get rank 9 before this whole thing ends, but that depends on my dedication. I am currently 2,230. How about you, Chris?
I'm like 2,300 right now. I did make it to rank 9, but then I dropped a ton after Ultra. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I could have tried probably a little bit harder, but then I talked to myself, I don't need the bows. I don't need Pikachu Libre. He's gonna get released eventually. I do want a Rufflet before Safari's son Philly, but unfortunately that may not happen before then.
I mean, it's such a rare spawn.
I know, it's just so hard to get it. Like, I try my hardest to get the encounters, and every time it was either a legendary or something differently. And unfortunately, I didn't want to have to go through the process of trying to get one just because of it. And there's another Bulby here, now shiny.
I just remembered I threw an incense. I forgot about that.
So guys, you have around 4 days and 20 more hours to go on Go Battle League. Make sure you get your battles in. Try to get the highest possible to rank 10. There is a change to how you obtain the items. So when you reach rank 10 and you finish the final set of your rank 10 battles, you will receive the Steven pose and you will receive the clothes. So you are able to get them before the season entirely ends, which is kind of nice.
And I think that's a good change.
Yeah, because everybody was just like trying to get to 10. They got to 10, but then they have to wait all the days to get the rewards. I think people were actually, I think Niantic realized that there's no point of keeping that exclusivity until the end of the season.
Yeah.
So, and thank you Niantic again, but yeah, that's actually good GBL for me. Now, I do have a little bit of saying when it comes to it right now. I think my burnout was mostly because I was trying to do every single set every day. And I think I didn't pace myself when it comes down to it. A lot of people told me that, do one set in the morning, another set in the afternoon, things like that. So you don't have to do every single one of them. I actually started thinking that there is a reason why the walking requirements are there. Now, I know that it's everybody's opinion and how they see the walking requirements to be a hassle to be able to play Go Battle League, of course. But I'm starting to see the different light, and I think I see the Niantic's point of view when it comes to walking requirements. That it's not just about making you walk the core basic of the game, but because they don't want you feeling that you have to do everything at once and all the time for that reason. Now, this also happened to be a case when it comes to the lag that Go Battle League has been seeing more recently because everybody's playing it. So nobody's actually, taking a break, doing the walk, playing again, and things like that. I think there is a really good reason why the walking requirements are there. Now, I know a lot of people will say, hey, no, the 3 kilometers is poop. I'm trying to save my words there. And there is no need for them because nobody actually walks to PvP. Nobody actually plays PvP outside. They actually just go home, get a nice connection, and they do it. I see it a different way now for the reason that there is a point to the whole walking part of it. It just doesn't seem that way, and I go plus a Volpe. It doesn't seem that way for the reason that I just feel like there's more to it than just having to battle every single time,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Niantic has a good point when it comes to the walking requirements. I know that I will miss having the ability to do all my sets. But I do see the reason why there needs to be a walking requirement for the reason that, not everybody can do it at the same time, but at the same time, they don't actually have to get burned out every time they do it. Chris, do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah. I think that's a piece of it. And I think another piece of it is they don't want you to just go in and do it just for the dust or anything. They want you to actually try for it. So I think if you actually walk for it, you're going to be more possible to actually grind out the fights to try and do the best you can. At least that's my opinion. I mean, the first set, you're not really going to do that if you just care about the dust.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
If you get to like 2 after that.
Yeah, and that's why I think that there is a reasoning to everything that they do in the game. They don't just emphasize the mechanics for a reason. They enforce it, and they actually use their core values for the best of people. If you can go ahead and play Pokemon Go from home, just like a spoofer, then there is no real reason to use things like that. Now, of course, because everything that's happening, we are technically playing Pokemon Go at home, but there is still a chance to walk around, things like that. And Niantic has changed his core mechanics, core values to assess the situations in the world. So once we go back to it, I know people will be a little disheartened for sure, but there is more to it. And I feel the burn to not be able to see my friends to raid. I feel the burn of not doing cool trades, special catches, go out hunt. The things that I love about Pokemon Go more than usual,
Mm-hmm.
And really, I feel like that the world needs to see in a different perspective. And I know a lot of them have the perspective, and I know Niantic has the perspective. But at the same time, there's going to be people complaining. It's like, no, we want to stay like this for the rest of our lives because it's just nice and cozy, So, yeah, that's basically Go Battle League for me and my opinions on it. We'll see how it goes, and towards the end of the season, I'll try to get in a couple more and maybe do a challenge for the next season. I don't want to burn out myself anymore, but I do want to pace myself and try to do the best I can to reach the highest rank possible, if possible, of course. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll talk about a challenge, and probably in the next few podcasts. I'll take a note from the GoCast and see if I can do 500 Go Battle League battles for all of this, or something similar to it, of course. But yeah, that's really is what the Go Battle League is for me. So I guess it's time to move on. But before that, let's check on this Volpe. That is not a shiny. Darn it. But yeah. So before we talk about our little segment here that we wanted to talk about, and of course our PvP section, I want to go ahead and remind everybody that the bonuses that we have right now, the special bonuses that they implemented since the beginning of all this world crisis, will be ending in 4 days and 3 hours as the recording of this podcast. So it is... I'm not sure if Niantic is thinking of extending it. It does look like it might, for the reason that there is a lot of different things that they still need to implement from their blog posts. But I think that we may go back to a normality if things go ease up a little bit in other countries and things like that. You know, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's basically is for the bonuses. Now, I want to go back a little bit into the old times and see what throwback we have here in Pokemon Go. The throwback of the century, I guess you should say. But I want to talk about our best memories, what we have with Pokemon Go, because this game has almost been out for a full 4 years. And there's been a lot of exciting things happening, a lot of things that haven't happened to us, and a lot of things yet to come. So, Chris, what can you tell me? What was your favorite memory of 2016?
2016?
Yes, the first year where Pokemon Go came out.
That's a hard one, because I was going to talk about raids, but I don't think raids were out in 2016.
No, the raids were out in 2017.
I'd say just walking around. I used to walk around in a circle at my church, just in the park next to it, and people would just be like, "Yo, why are you walking in a circle?" I'm hatching eggs, man. It's the funniest thing to.
Yeah. So yeah, it's those kind of moments that we want to go back and experience one more time, for the reason that, you know, there are things that you will never forget about this game, specifically, you know, for Pokemon Go, because Pokemon Go will always be implemented in our lives, and there's always going to be great memories. For me, at least in 2016, the best part was that everybody was playing it. There was nobody in the world for the first month of Pokemon Go's history not playing the game, unless they really hated the concept of Pokemon Go. But almost everybody that I knew, my coworkers, my friends, my brother, it wasn't my parents, but at least, you know, every single one of my friends that were looking into it, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, this game looks amazing," and things like that. And having the chance to go out and see so many people just walking and looking their phone and saying, "Oh, there's a Pokemon here, there's a Pokemon there, I need to catch this, I need to catch that." Those kind of moments just stay with you. And that was probably one of the greatest moments in 2016, just for the reason that no matter where you were, no matter what you were doing, you were playing Pokemon Go with somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a good 2016 throwback. What about 2017? What was your best and most memorable time? All right, guys, we're back. Chris, are you back with me again?
Maybe.
All right, perfect. I'm sorry, guys. Some technical difficulties happen sometimes and every now and then. Looks like we're going to have to switch up our way of talking just a little bit more. But, Chris, if we can go back and say, what was your favorite memories of 2017?
For 2017, it had to be, I'm pretty sure that's when raids came out.
Yeah.
And it had to be when I ran into Ralph in the old Discord, and I found out that Discord was even a thing. And just coming into contact with all the players that like regularly play was amazing. Because like there was no way to take out legendaries. Even with the 3 accounts I had, it was just really hard to do. So it was fun to match up with a bunch of other people and just get all my friends and everyone together to fight legendaries.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say that my favorite moment of 2016 was around the same time. I remember watching GoFest and how legendaries were coming into fruition. Discord wasn't really still a thing yet for me until I met up with some of the Sarasota group area. That's where I was actually usually hunting my legendaries. And I remember the first time Articuno came into raids, and I was trying to find a way if I can get some people going. I was able to group up with some people in Sarasota, and they were so nice to me. They were inviting me to their Discord, and we were like, "Hey, let's go ahead and do this and that." But then, came a couple people talked to me and saying, hey, do you want to help us out, form this Discord and get things going so we can get everybody going. And that's where, the Discord for Brandon was born, and we were able to get people, together for a lot of different things and a lot of different raids. Luckily, I was actually closer to Brandon, so not that I left my Sarasota group, but more like I actually moved them closer to my place just because it was easier for me to get around. So yeah, I mean, it was fun. I started meeting new people. I met you, I met everybody else, and it was actually pretty good, pretty nice experience for sure.
Yeah, I love our group.
Yeah, I do too. All right, so 2017 came and went. More events, of course, happened. More legendary shinies, of course, were released, I think, in that year too. And then we came 2018. Can you remember like a specific time where you were so happy to play Pokemon Go?
Let me look back at my Pokemon really. But I need to look at the Pokemon really quick to make sure I'm not forgetting anything in particular.
No, definitely.
I want to say that's when we had. No, is it? Because I'm thinking that's when we had the first like raid days for the shiny Articuno and Moltres and everything. But I'm just double checking that.
2017.
Yes.
Or 2017 is when we actually got raids. 2018 when we got Mew, or we got the research closer to Mew.
Yeah. The raid days for like Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos were also in 2018. Definitely Moltres Day was like the most fun for me because it felt like I was just getting shiny after shiny each one. So I ended up with 7. So I was super ecstatic about that.
That's cool. I want to say 2018, the most memorable was actually just getting to see Mew for the first time. Pokemon Go finally released their special research and research quest into Pokemon Go, and I felt like a new way of playing the game. And then when you were able to get Mew for the first time, everybody was like, I gotta get Mew in the next 24 hours, and people were going crazy. I think Holly did like a 24-hour stream outside. Other people were going 36 hours and playing more of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. I seen so many people rise through the top because of a lot of different things that happened in 2018. Plus GoFest, but unfortunately I didn't go to GoFest in 2018.
Yeah, no,
but it is what it is. But of course, 2019 that changed everything. But Chris, what was your favorite moment?
For 2019, it had to be going to go for sure.
Yeah, same for here.
Loved GoFest.
Yeah, GoFest was probably the most fun I had playing Pokemon Go. The first time I fly by myself without any friends and just play the game as much as I wanted to. I saw different people that I admire for the longest time, both in the YouTube area and podcast area and everything that I went through. It was such a fun event, such a fun weekend. I wouldn't miss it for the world again, but I wanted to continue on every year and try to go into a Go Fest or something similar. Unfortunately this year it had to change, but it is what it is when it came down to it. And yeah, that's 20, or at least Pokemon Go in retrospect for us. If you guys want to share your favorite moments for Pokemon Go history, make sure you tweet at us, PureLetterGo, or email us at purifiedpodcast@gmail.com.
We want to hear it.
Yes, we do definitely. Now I am starting to have some technical difficulties here from your mic, Chris.
Really?
So we may actually not talk about our PvP section, and just unfortunately we may have to end the podcast here. I know it's a little abroad, but we want to make sure that you guys hear all our nice little meta relevance for the new cup in the Silt Arena, the Forest Cup, and everything similar to it. But because I don't want everybody to just hear Chris talk about in robotic form, we will actually postpone it for the next podcast. So I want to say thank you, everybody who actually come to the stream, and anybody who's listening in all our podcast services. Apple Podcasts and Google and Stitcher are actually great ways to just interact with us. And again, if you want to tell us about your favorite moments and everything that you are giving us info for, make sure you email us at thepurifiedpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, you can also text us or voicemail us at 941-417-9243. It's been a pleasure, Chris, once again to talk to you tonight.
Always a pleasure.
And I want to say also again, everybody, to listen to us. But I know I didn't want to abruptly end the podcast so easily, but unfortunately, technical difficulties happen to be there. So we'll continue on for sure in the next podcast, and we'll talk more. Hopefully, we'll have more news to talk about, and we'll fix all our technical issues by then. So thank you very much, guys, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one.